A while back, this filmmaker posts a video on YouTube about how it would have been impossible to fake the moon landing based on the technology that Hollywood had at the time. It's a great example of how easily conspiracy theorists will ignore impossibilities whenever it suits their ends. Now, naturally, this brings out the crazies in the comment section, but this guy, One True Keeper, really took the cake. You see, he said that NASA did land on the moon, but that they must have used secret anti-gravity technology to do it. You see, One True Keeper explained, both Einstein and Newton are wrong about gravity. My theory is that it has nothing to do with mass pulling, but it's all about waves produced by the vacuum of space pushing on you. These waves can be blocked by metal, such as the core of the Earth, so that's why when you're standing on the Earth, you are only pushed down. Right. Points were made about how good scientific theories actually make predictions, that both Newton and Einstein have been doing that for some time, while these vacuum waves actually fail to explain a number of easily observable phenomena. And when pressed about what predictions his theory actually could make, One True Keeper finally came up with this mysterious test. If you put a tub of water and a model ship side by side on a scale, you will get the combined weight of both. But if you put the boat in the tub of water and let it float and measured the weight again, then you only get the weight of the tub of water, but no boat. Where did the weight go? Now, based on Newtonian gravity, that's not what you'd expect at all. Weight is only based on how much stuff there is in something. So I predicted that the weight of the boat would be the same, even while it's floating in water. One of the other commenters even tried it with a cork, and no surprise, the weight of the cork did not disappear. But no, says One True Keeper, it won't work with a cork. Those vacuum waves are only blocked by metal. And besides, I did the experiment myself with a little metal boat, and Zach's prediction is all wrong. Okay, let's repeat One True Keeper's experiment. I'm excited! I mean, who knew the secret of anti-gravity was hiding in my bathtub this whole time? So, we have our kitchen scale, which will measure the weight in grams. We have our glass tub and our stainless steel boat. Together, they weigh 363 grams. Let's add the water. So, with the boat next to the tub, we have a total mass of 632 grams. Let's float the boat. And the mass is 631 grams. So either there's a gram of anti-gravity or my scale just isn't sensitive enough. $632 grams. So, yeah. Well, damn. As I predicted, the weight of the boat is the same, whether it's next to the tub, floating in the tub, or sunk to the bottom. You haven't changed the mass, so you haven't changed the weight. But wait, says One True Keeper, if you put your fist in a tub of water, the weight will not change until you actually touch the bottom. Anti-gravity! Well, your fist is kind of suspended from your arm, so I wouldn't really expect it to add weight until you did press down on the bottom. That's not really a valid experiment. Stop trolling, says One True Keeper. Even a child can see it's a valid experiment. On the other hand, we could both be wrong. It's not necessarily intuitive, but another commenter, Alistair Archibald, pointed out that your fist should actually add weight, equal to the amount of water it displaces. Let's find out. Kitchen scale again. This time we are using a larger That wasn't what I expected at all. Of course, it is completely counter to what One True Keeper said he got in his experiment. I'm beginning to think he didn't do these at all. Well, what about the battleship in the bathtub, huh? You can float a battleship in just a bathtub's worth of water. Antigravity! Not so, says Alistair Archibald. You need at least as much water as the mass of the battleship, or it won't float. See, the way displacement works isn't always intuitive. You do need to displace as much mass as whatever it is you're trying to float, but it turns out that the amount of water you have originally doesn't actually matter that much. See, assuming the sides of the bathtub are infinitely high, you can displace pretty much any volume of water. Let's see if you can displace 72 grams worth of water without actually having that much water in there. So, we zero everything out. Let's pour in the water. Displacement have to do with anti-gravity anyways. Let's go back to this original theory. Apparently, waves from space are pushing down on us. If that's the case, wouldn't you expect a lump of metal shaped like a sphere to weigh less than that same lump of metal shaped to catch the waves? Not so, says One True Keeper. Shape doesn't matter to these waves, for some reason. All that matters to these waves are size, density, and composition. Fine. So for our final experiment, I have constructed a vacuum wave collector. This origami balloon. See, when I blow it up, according to One True Keeper's theories, it should weigh much more. It will be, after all, much larger. But if Einstein and Newton are correct, the weight should not change because the mass hasn't changed either. All right, we have our vacuum wave collector. Collapsed, it weighs one more thing I want to say, actually. See, science is all about asking questions and coming up with crazy ideas. And in that way, there's nothing wrong with what One True Keeper did. But science is also about testing those ideas. And if they fail the tests, going back to the drawing board, not falsifying results and making it up as you go along like One True Keeper did. So,